Welcome to Get YouTube Done Now, a podcast series. And I am Majesty AliNICOLE Wow. I am the founder and creator of the YouTube-preneur Factor Evolution. And I am joined by she is my star Empress, Celebrity-preneur. Gina Gardiner, and excited that we are kicking off this series. We've been doing Get YouTube Done Now work for quite some time and have an online workspace session as well. And I'll make sure that we have information about that in the description. But we are excited to kick off this podcast series because we know it's going to help a lot of individuals really level up and be intentional about getting YouTube done and getting it done now. So Gina, thank you for joining me for this podcast series.
Always a pleasure. Always learn so much. And I know that people who are listening are going to gain a huge amount from it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Being in the YouTube space is a very interesting dynamics, for sure. And there's so much that has been changing with YouTube over the years, but even more recently, in terms of the different levels of formats that are being used as it relates to video diversity and helping individuals really to expand what they do. And it's a very exciting time to be engaging in the newness and different things that are going on with YouTube. Would you agree?
I would indeed. It's changing at a really rate, and I think people need to understand the power of it so that they can harness that for themselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. Understanding, you said the key thing, understanding the power of YouTube and also being able to leverage it. And that's part of the harnessing capacity, if you will, is once you understand it, then you know how powerful it is, then you can leverage and harness it in a very profound way. And, one of the things that that I teach in terms of people really discovering their own unique factor as it relates to YouTube, even though there are fundamentals, of course, that everyone will have to sort of leverage, they can't get around, but being able to make YouTube about you and what you bring to the marketplace to be able to enhance and elevate others, is extremely important.
I absolutely agree. And I think for so many people, they're frightened of using YouTube. They're frightened of creating videos. And yet they are so powerful, and they don't have to be scary. You can start in a very non-threatening way. It can be really
Oh, absolutely. Yes, can definitely be really effective for sure. And, on the note, of that, I actually published an article on Medium today, and it was around YouTube and being able to bring some acceleration into the New Year agenda with the channels, because one of my most popular articles, YouTube related articles on Medium, is called Faceless Videos Are Becoming a Big Thing on YouTube, and this isn't new. And I know, you've had the opportunity, of course, to read that article at some point, during the journey, but I felt really compelled to publish one. And so, maybe we can talk a little bit about some of the different elements and components within the article. Your thoughts?
I think that would be a really good idea. It offers people a real route map, if you like, in terms of how they can approach things.
Okay, yeah, well, definitely. So I'm getting that article now, and like I said, I'll just read certain excerpts, from it, and then we can have a quick discussion, around it, and especially because you brought up in terms of the non-intimidating ways in terms of getting started with YouTube. So I'm going to read this article. And I'll have the link to this in the description. So it's called Accelerate Your YouTube Channel's Growth in the New Year with Faceless Videos, YouTube Shorts, and Short Form Video Formats. So there's no better time than in the present to either be starting a YouTube channel or taking one's channel to the next level. So if you're looking to accelerate your channel's growth in the new year, this article will touch on 3 formats of videos that will help you to accelerate and advance your channel's success. The 3 top video formats to be leveraging during this time are faceless videos, YouTube shorts, and short form videos. Of course, traditional videos will always have their place, but nowadays most viewers are craving more diversity in content delivery as well as formats, even on niched focused channels. So this article isn't implying that you shouldn't still leverage the standard style videos. I'm just providing you with other considerations that have progressively become even more appealing and trendy to viewers. So we start with faceless videos. So in my article, faceless videos are becoming a big thing on YouTube, and this isn't new. I share about the benefits of faceless videos and how they've become more popular over the years. Having videos with nature features, publications, animation, doodle style, or other faceless videos are starting to become more intriguing and engaging to viewers. In my mini course and mastermind intensive, Faceless to Fortunes Videopreneurship, I provide a breakdown of how to create breakthroughs with both channel growth and profitability using a customized syndicated success system with YouTube shorts and short form videos and using faceless videos. Many would be surprised how non-linear and non-traditional video formats help to increase your impact and income on YouTube. One of the greatest aspects of leveraging consistent features of faceless videos is that it allows the content creator even more freedom, flexibility, and focus with impromptu productions without feeling like they always have to be camera ready in the traditional sense. It's one less production factor to worry about during times when you want to bulk create and pre-schedule your content. If you post consistently on your channel, having at least 2 to 3 faceless videos a week will provide enough of the diversity that will probably be most satisfying for your audience. Then I talk a little bit about YouTube shorts and short form video. So 2 of my favorite formats to leverage are YouTube shorts and short form videos. I will admit that these 2 formats are probably my more favorable formats that I enjoy teaching others about when it comes to marketing their smaller channels. With YouTube Shorts, I love the fact that you have the opportunity to be impactful in 60 seconds or less and never have to be overly concerned about the attention span of your audience, because most people have at least a minute to spare to see if your content resonates or is worth them subscribing to your channel. And I feel the same way about short form videos. Another great aspect about YouTube Shorts is the expanded reach for viewership and archive potential on the YouTube shelf than what you normally get with your standard videos. So when it comes to short form videos, I'm finding that people are enjoying the low to medium content consumptions, whether it be short films, mini messages, or excerpts from longer videos. Over the years, I've used a software like MindMovie and Lumen 5 to create short form videos, and those videos do well as lead-ins for other videos, blog posts, and or platforms. To me, they are the best format to get started with when people are new to YouTube. And I'll read this one more paragraph here. These formats are the fastest way to accelerate the growth for your channel in the new year. Even if you plan to have mostly longer form videos on your channel, I recommend using short form videos as your pre-scheduled content that I call your base content that allows your channel to have have a consistent flow of videos to serve your audience, especially during the times when you don't have new content or taking a break from your channel with your main content. There are so many benefits to leveraging both YouTube Shorts and short form videos in this way. So I'm going to leave it there. I just wanted to share this piece because I think it's definitely important, especially during this time. And you definitely can speak to this in terms of the benefits of those three formats.
Absolutely. I think for most people, the sitting in front of a camera, for, at least at first, feels a bit intimidating. It's so much easier if you're talking to a person. One of the problems I think with that is that then people keep putting things off. I'll
Right.
do it when I feel more confident. I'll do it when I've had my hair cut. I'll do it,
Right.
and so it goes on. So if you start with faceless videos, and that can be just videoing your garden or an experience while you're out and about and talking about it while you're behind the camera and you're just showing people what you see and making some sort of commentary about it, or using, if you've got a book or a product that's got a front image, using that and talking about it. One of the things that's really surprised me in the early days of doing this is how much interest there was, not in the stuff that's to do with my work,
Right.
but my cat, who incidentally is being a pain at the moment because he wants my attention. My friends, several of my friends have had puppies recently, and so capturing what they're up to. When I've taken a drive and there's been a fabulous sunrise, to just stop and take a 1-minute video of that sunrise.
Yes, right.
And so the only thing that's going to limit you is your imagination. But the interesting thing is that I wanted to build up my YouTube subscribers, and I have built them up really significantly. So in the last 10 weeks, I've moved up. I'm almost double where I started.
You sure have. And I'm so proud of you. And the thing about it is, when we first started doing the work, in this area in terms of the channel growth, and I just want to add this here that there are on-air workspace sessions where Gina and I talked and worked around her channel, and I'll have links to those within the description, because you can also be able to see her journey and how she's progressed, with her channel. She's had her channel for years, but at one point it's kind of just at a standstill, so to speak. But then, as she mentioned, within the last 10 weeks or so, she's had a significant shift. And in her, not just the subscribers, but in terms of the channel having more of a direction for consistency. Because Gina, that's the thing that hinders most people, is that they get started, but then they really don't have a consistent flow to be able to have something steady for their channel. And something that you brought up that was really significant to talk about was the fact that, people put things off. But whenever you can bring short form content to your channel, or faceless videos, or the YouTube shorts, or however, that kind of eliminates your excuses, because it is less intimidating. You don't have to necessarily worry so much about getting on camera. Also, there are the videos that are the voiceless videos, so to speak, too, where someone said, well, I don't know about my voice being too good. Well, you don't have to. Some videos, you don't even have to talk. If you are taking videos of imagery outside, just as Gina was mentioning, in terms of the sunset and just, nature, different things. Or if you have products, publications or so, and you take shoot some videos of those, you don't necessarily have to talk with those videos. Of course, you want to make sure that your caption or your title And what you have in your description definitely is telling very much in terms of what you want to convey if you're not going to be actually talking, right? But the point is that these are ways that you can just get started. But even, Gina, we would say for people who've had channels for a long time, this is the way to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that this is definitely the way to go, for sure, because the fact that this is what's changing within the YouTube dynamics. And of course, you can attest to that, right?
I certainly can. You know, for me, I think setting aside some time to get started. And for me, I've learned that if I try and do things sort of a bit, and I think I'm going to do a bit every day, things get in the way.
Right.
So blocking out time to that and say, that's my YouTube time, and I'm going to either create or do the backroom work to things that I've already loaded. And
Right.
I will tend to set aside a morning or a whole day to do that because I find them much quicker. But what got me started is I literally went to my phone and I looked at videos that I had created when I was on holiday around my cat, my garden, and I had 69 videos that were less than a minute, and those are the first ones I used. I looked for a caption that would perhaps catch people's attention, and I simply loaded them up on the phone and then went to the to YouTube on the computer. And I now have families of hashtags and families of descriptions. I've got a descriptor that goes on every video that puts in my links to Amazon and my publications and to my link tree. So I minimized the work. It was quite, to start with, it took far more time because I was creating these. But now if I put a cat video up, I've got it all done. If I put a dog video up, if I got a landscape, whatever it is, as I'm doing it. So I'm creating the infrastructure that then makes it easy to do things in the future.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
I bet if you're listening to this, if you go to your phone, you will find that you've already got a lot of material that would work. And incidentally, you can load longer videos, and the YouTube short route will actually say, do you want to shorten this to a YouTube short?
Right.
And it does it for you. It just takes the first 59 seconds of whichever video it is. So as long as the action is, there is action going on in that first minute, that works pretty well too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And, thank you too also for the perfect segue into talking really more about getting YouTube done and getting YouTube done now, because you talked about blocking out the time. And that's the thing, is that
Yes.
you have to be very intentional about getting
Yes.
YouTube done and being able to set aside that time. And as Gina, you mentioned, in terms of people get very busy within their schedule, or things come up when they say, okay, I'm going to set aside time to do this. But whenever you aren't trying to work on it steadily a certain way, and you actually block out the time, which is what, I teach and we recommend, in terms of, taking a weekend or creating an intensive. And you can do this during the week too, if that's what your schedule permits, where you take a weekend or a week intensive and work on different things for your channel. And primarily, the recommendation is to use the short form videos and create your intensive around creating those and doing exactly what Gina mentioned in terms of getting those pre-scheduled. And when you can actually pre-schedule those out, then you don't have to worry about consistently having to do something in your channel of that nature every day or every other day, because you've taken a weekend or even a week to pre-schedule and to do quite a bit for your channel. So Gina, before we get ready to close out here, talk a little bit about kind of the format that you've used in terms of pre-scheduling content up for quite a, for a long duration of time?
So I have created sort of what I consider stables of different videos. And I used my diary to then identify, okay, for example, I've got a new series of videos. They're the short form videos rather than YouTube shorts, around long-term illness, dealing with long-term illness and disability. Now, there are 22 videos. I've scheduled 2 a week, all the way through to the beginning of March. I've got little sound bites going out every day, right the way through. I happen to have filled them 3 years ago, not done a lot with them. And so I went the day I'm going to do tomorrow is to go through the lumens that are not yet published onto YouTube, and I've got quite a few in draft form. I'm going to finish those up, and they're going to go in. And lumens are where you can use an article that you've written, or you can use a series of photographs that you like, and put text with it. You can actually now speak over them. You can have anything from less than a minute to, I think, is it 5 minutes the longest one? Or
5.
and you can actually try it out for free. It's called Lumen 5, Lumen and then the number 5. And it's a really great piece of software that will help you to just utilize other resources. And I love to use things more than once. So if it's been an article, then it's changed into a lumen. And if I've got lots of plans for, I've got some amazing photographs rather than videos, and I intend putting those into a lumen, and it becomes a video through the software. So if you look at my timetable, every day there's 1 or 2 videos of some sort going out. Some days there's more. And what I'm experimenting with at the moment is there a perfect time of day to schedule them for? And so at the moment, they're all going out. I'm using 2 different times. One is UK time, so it suits the UK market at 10 a.m. in the morning. And the other is in the afternoon, when it will hit the Eastern board. So that's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So it'll still be quite early for them. It'll be 10 o'clock in the morning for them. And the thing to do is to play with it, be really playful and creative. There are all sorts of ways you can use this. The important thing is start doing it, because until you start doing it, you won't actually find all of the different ways that suit you.
Right.
And remember, it's about you and your life as well as your business.
Right.
Be authentic about who you are. And I've shared more of my life through my YouTube videos than I have ever shared of myself before. And people like it. And they are demonstrating that not only because they subscribe, but because people are commenting.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the thing about it, in terms of what I was mentioning, the diversity on channels, and of course, my motto is teaching more of the multi-interest channels and people not being so niche focused, and having because we have to understand, people are multi-interest people. We're multi-interest beings, I should say. We have different things that we like. And when a channel actually can have more of that one-stop shop approach, in the sense with multiple interests, you can have a main interest for sure, but when you can have other different elements and aspects that do showcase the different levels of a person's life, then that makes for a more holistic type of experience. And it is that people will engage it. There's an article that I'll make sure that's in the description as well. And Gina, you're familiar with this article of mine where it talks about the non-linear type of focus for marketing, or for your channel, growing your channel with non-linear videos, meaning videos that are not necessarily your primary focus, so to speak. And just like when Gina was mentioning about her cat, and I publish videos of my grand dog, and those get tremendous views, you know. So it doesn't have to be always something that is what your channel is supposed to be mainly about. But if you allow your channel to be a multi-interest channel, you can post a variety of things that will pull in different people, and you'd be surprised how some of that traffic will lead into some of the grander opportunities, especially, you know, if you're in business. So Gina, I know, you know, we'll get ready to wrap this segment up here. And I'm going to, you know, turn it over to you in terms of providing some empowerment and closeout for this particular segment. But, you know, it's so important in terms of people really, as you mentioned too, getting started. And I'll make sure that the article bundle in terms of people being able to create their own unique customized intensive, you know, get YouTube done intensive. I'll have 2 article bundles in the description, so that will help you get started. Gina, you know, before I turn it over to you to actually close out, would you share a little bit about like your experience with going through those bundles, you know, in terms of when a channel is under 500 and building up to that, you know, just the benefits of actually going through that and doing a VIP intensive, just maybe around those articles before they jump in. Yeah.
The AliNICOLE has created some articles which actually are a really good navigational tool in terms of how to build your channel on YouTube. And there is a different approach when you're under 300, when you're under 400, when you're under 500, when you're over 500. And I think recognizing that you do need to adapt your approach depending on where you are is really important. I just want to take a step back in terms of, you know, the non-linear. The one thing that you can do on YouTube is to create a variety of playlists. And so I would say go and have a look at my YouTube channel. It's Genuinely You with Gina Gardiner. Please subscribe. That would be great.
Yes.
It's a work in motion. It's not perfect by any means. And I've got playlists which are public and where everything has been scheduled and has gone out. I've got playlists where things are still scheduled, but they haven't gone out. And then I've got playlists which are not yet published, where I load work, but I haven't done the background work of the description and the hashtags and all of that. But I get them loaded, and then I'll have a couple of hours and I'll wallop through. And because I've organized them into playlists, they've got the same hashtags, they've got the same or very similar descriptions. So it saves me time. So all of this is about organizing yourself. So one of the things that's really great about the bundles of articles that AliNICOLE offers is there is a strategy for wherever you're at. All of these things, all of these strategies, all of the suggestions that we're going to make to you in this podcast and in future ones, the one deciding factor whether or not they're going to work is you.
Right.
If you take notice of what the advice is offered in the bundles, I know because I've done it, I've read it, and I've done step by step what it suggested, and it works. But if you don't take the action, or if you're not consistent about taking the action, then don't blame the bundles or the podcast. You have to look in the mirror and think, do you know what? I didn't follow through. If you are consistent about this, and it doesn't have to be hard, it just needs to be regular. Small steps consistently taken are far more effective than the grand gesture that doesn't get followed through.
Oh, that was well stated.
And those bundles, I've moved to the end now because I'm over the 500, but those bundles, I kept on going back. Am I doing what it says in that particular grouping? And it's worked incredibly well for me, and I know it's worked incredibly well for other people. But you are the deciding factor, and ultimately, you've got to get going. So don't look for perfection. Look for something that for the moment will be okay, and build on it. And there's no doubt about it, you will get better at it. Not only better at the videos, but better at choosing the right hashtags, at choosing the right titles, because all of these things have make a difference. But ultimately, you've got to start somewhere. If you want to journey anywhere, you have to start with the first step. And if you want to get there, you have to keep walking. So
That's true.
it really is up to you. But I think that those bundles of articles and all of the recordings that we've been creating are designed to give you a navigational tool to save you time and effort, so that you don't go up at cul-de-sacs, that you actually get the shortest route to achieve what you want.
Absolutely. Gina, thank you so much for that. I am going to turn it back over to you to close us out. I want to just interject here as well in terms of, yes, we have the article bundles, but we have a stable of products as well that can help you take things to the next level, and they support your Get YouTube Done Now journey. And so you've got everything that you need to really succeed. And as Gina said, it's just about you having to apply yourself and actually do the work around it. And also be open to nonlinear ways of achieving. And what we talked about today in terms of the faceless videos, the short form videos, and the YouTube shorts, is just getting started with those. And as Gina mentioned, she used what she had even in her phone originally, just organically, and then started applying other things. So that's, just things for you to consider. But the main thing is to get YouTube done, and get YouTube done now, as in no other way. So those are my words, imparting for this segment. And I know that you all will achieve what you need to achieve this year. For sure. Gina, thank you, of course, and I turn it over to you to close us out.
Thank you. I think as human beings, we are very good at overcomplicating things, because that, in a sense, gives us an excuse not to do things. It's too difficult. I haven't got the right technology. I haven't got time. I haven't this and I haven't that. And I think that by starting off with what you do have, looking on your phone or the family phones, and see if they've got videos that are going to work for you about your family life and the things that are of interest and are of importance to you, then use those. Because once you get some momentum, and I think the intentionality is the first thing, you have to intend to do it and to set time aside. The second thing is you've got to create some energetic momentum to it. And that's why doing one every now and again is no good, because there is no momentum to that. And that's why setting aside some time right at the beginning to get a few under your belt, and to then get those onto YouTube, get them scheduled, and know that, for the next month, that things are okay. And what I now have started to do is to set aside a day a month. That's my YouTube day. And I have then, by doing that, because some of mine are scheduled beyond the month, that will give me a real mix. And I'm always now got the phone looking for opportunities. And you'll be amazed at what people are interested in. And part of my experimentation, my playing at the moment, is to see what is it that people are interested in. And if I tell you that one of the things that has reached the biggest audience is of a chipmunk under some branches, squeaking in time with its tail. Chip, 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 chip. The title is, In My Previous Life, I Was a Metronome. And that has received over 12,000 views. Now, there's part of me which thinks people need to get a life. But at the same time, that video then created several people subscribing to my channel.
Right.
So be playful, be creative, but get on with it. We're here to help. There's lots of resources in the articles and in the different products. Go and have a look at our websites. The details will be in the description. Go and have a look. We're not saying do it like us.
Right.
We're sharing the principles. You need to make this yours. But ultimately, my parting words to you is just get on with it. Bye bye now. Thanks for joining us.